So guys, you had all the smart topics, yeah? You had the technical ones. It comes to the least smart ones, but the more fun ones, yeah? So we will be talking about technical communication and how to speak tech with your clients because it's a touchy subject. And we know when it comes to technical people, there are some difficulties and the dialogue is so different. So about me, and don't mind the picture is just behind there, yeah? So it looked like a good sign. And yeah, thank you. That with the smile also. So from the start, I was working as a team lead in Transcosmos, managing a team of 20 agents. Then I moved as a team manager in Genpack. Then I joined the V7 family, where I'm very proud. Yeah, and it was a beautiful journey so far. I was working as a digital marketing manager, yeah, for the UPSA project, which is a French company. Then I moved ahead as a customer success lead. I worked for Merck for 1.5 years with the global team. And right now I'm an account executive working for the MEA region and also Europe. That's why I was in the trip, by the way. That's a very short introduction about my, let's just say, experience. So we will be speaking mainly about my communication journey and how I moved in from being an introvert to an extrovert, yeah? Even if it sounds silly, but that's true. So maybe before I move ahead, I would like to ask you, here in the room, who of you think of themselves as introverts? Yes, raise your hand. Yeah, okay. And who see themselves as an extrovert? Okay. Second question, as introverts, do you see yourself moving from an introvert to extrovert, or do you see it? How many people? Let's see. Okay. Yeah, so about my journey, I'm gonna be completely honest. I was never a very talkative person. I was never, let's just say, easy outgoing. I was super shy. I didn't like to interact with people. I was scared of what the other people think. Yeah, I could not even talk to girls when I was a teenager, to be honest. Yeah, but then I remember when I reached, let's just say, after my teenage years, and I just start a little bit my first years of experience, I asked myself a question, why do I put these barriers around me, and why me, I'm limiting myself, not the others. I mean, no one really care about what you say, what you think. It's just yourself, clearly. And then I mastered what we call the art of, I would say it, of not giving an F, So I stopped caring. I don't really care about what other person think, what he have a prejudgment of me. I just really don't, I just think loudly, communicate. And then if they have a feedback, if it's constructive, I take it. If it's not, it doesn't even go through my ears, So this was my journey. I did a lot of exercise on myself. Look, I didn't read a specific book. I didn't talk to the mirror for hours. I didn't did none of that. I just woke up and I said, why do I limit myself? Let me start speaking to people, and people actually, they open up. Even the most people that they usually are close, once you exchange few words, they just open up. And specifically if you share a personal experience, and this is in work, in a bar, in any place. Once you start speaking to the people, usually they just start also open up. So we're gonna go more details what mistakes people does, and then we're gonna move ahead and speak in how to improve your communication skills. So what is communication? So according to Google and ChatGPT, this is what you know. This is the classic. If you Google it, you will find it. Communication is the process that involves sending and receiving a message through verbal, non-verbal, blah, blah, blah. I don't define it as this, Let's just be honest. So for me, the right definition, communication, it's not about sending a message or speaking word. It's the art, that's the definition. It's art of making other people truly believe your ideas. If they believe them, that's what we call communication, And it's also about how you tailor your message to specific people. Meaning, so you are a technical people, I'll give you a technical example. If you're a delivery manager and then a client asks you for a project estimate, and you start to open that Excel and go to the cost breakdown, and let's just say design will take this, it's gonna take this hour, this is the cost. And you spend days and days to make this beautiful estimation to give it to the clients, The whole aim of that estimation, not to communicate in the first place as a sending a message, because Well, like we say, you're not giving him information as the sky is blue or the water is wet. No. The whole purpose of that schema that you're creating is making him believe that this estimation is right. And this cost breakdown that I'm giving you have an ultimate goal, yeah, just to make you believe that they are right. So that's the whole point of it in the first place. It's not, here it is, and this is the ultimate truth. Because if it was the truth, you will not have a conversation, he will not challenge you in terms of the pricing, and it will not be it. So this is my definition, and I think most people agree. So about tailoring your message, we're gonna see it later on, but look, usually technical people, and I'm not that technical, so I can say it, yeah? They tend to have this script. If they start, they don't stop until they finish. No matter what comment you place in, no matter what target audience you're talking to. If he's making a demo, trust me, he's gonna spend 45 minutes going through the 3 dots, the chatbot, this. Even if you ask him a super relevant question, no, I need to finish. That's the biggest mistake that they do. Because sometimes when I'm talking about tailoring your message, it depends on the audience. Sometimes you're dealing with marketeers, C-level people. They don't really understand the integration, the coding part, the design. They don't really. For them, what's the most important is just how this integration will benefit my business and how does it play in my, let's just say, schema or estimations that I have, or even the forecasting that I have. That's what they want to know. So if you speak their language, you can tailor your message. You can skip some part, focus on others. So this is what we call tailoring your message. If you have any questions, say it during the way. I'm going to be happy because I talk a lot. Yeah. So let's see. So the importance of communication, as I mentioned. So understanding the client needs. One of the most important things before any estimation is really understand what the client wants. I know this is one of the most difficult things to do because the client doesn't want to speak about the budget, doesn't want to speak about the specific integration. He can even give you, like we call in French, a carte blanche, like do whatever you see fit, yeah? But once you do, then he starts to have opinion. No, I don't want this. I like this. I like this. So if you understand his needs from the beginning, you make the process shorter. You make it shorter, and it's also saving you time and saving you tons of follow-up and internal emails and those meetings that they keep repeating itself, and sometimes they're not useful. You skip them. And it's also very important because it's mitigate the risk. Yeah. By mitigating the risk, I mean that exactly. You don't want to end up by talking to a client, having an estimation and everything, and then it was not the right one. The project starts, and then no, we need more, let's just say round of correction hours. We need more this, we need more that. The main purpose and the sole purpose of it, it's because of the initial conversation you had with the clients. Because when you define it properly, then it's easy to do later on. Also value on the work done, very important. Sometimes people do very little, yeah, but they talk, and they make it look pretty, and they use a little design slide, and then it's look amazing, the work. Sometimes the inverse, people spend hours of coding and developing and and they don't know how to present it. And that's the biggest mistake that most people do, because if you combine both, if you combine the hard work, yeah, and the right communication and presentation, then you have a winning project. But most people either missing these 2 pillars, yeah. And then build the client trust. So this is not an overnight thing that people do. If you want to have their trust, it takes time. Okay, I was working, like I mentioned, for a client for a year and a half, and it's quite time to gain their trust. You don't gain the trust by clients say to you, listen, from today I trust you. No, never existed. You gain it by the client trust is mainly when clients start speaking by themselves about their real needs. They start telling you, I need this, I think this is it. And before, they are like a nutshell. They never crack. But this is, once they start to crack, open up. I have a tight budget, I want to use it in this, can you support? Maybe you can do that. Then you really start having their stuff. But the work doesn't stop there. You build on it. This is where your job come in. You build on it step by step, and then you enhance it. Okay, common mistakes, my favorite part, yeah? So, this is not nothing against technical people, but it's for everyone. Okay, so lack of active listening. Many of us, including myself at the beginning, I don't listen. Meaning, if a client is speaking or even another person is speaking, I'm just waiting for them to stop speaking so I can throw my idea. Or even when they speak, I'm already making it. Okay. I'm just waiting for that stop silence and I throw it. That's bad because you skip very important part. Yeah. Second of all, you have using of jargons without explanation. So this is purely tech, because sometimes I'm also with technical people and they start speaking a language that I really don't understand. You know, they start speaking about design and coding. And for me, as a non-technical person, I just prefer it to be simple. Explain it to me like a baby. I'm 10 years old. Explain me what you're gonna do. And that's a very skill that it needs to be mastered. Third thing is not seeking feedback. So when I'm speaking about not seeking feedback in this part, a lot of people, they think that it's perfect. Their conversation is perfect. Yeah. They don't tend to ask the other person what they do. I do it even in meetings. When I'm in a meeting and I am with someone else, when we end the meeting, I ask them, what did you think? Did I miss some part? How was the client reacting? Was I too speaky? Why? It's beneficial for me, you know? And the feedback can come from both ends, another person and your own. I mean, till this day, I record all meetings that I speak in. I record them and I repeat them. And I repeat them going, walk back home. And I find myself, after a call, I killed it. It was great, amazing. Now that accent, I mastered. And then when I'm going back and I hear, and I said, I messed up in so many, but you don't hear it, you don't see it, but you need to listen to it. And no one's gonna judge you because it's just you and yourself. I mean, who cares? And then you have ignoring non-verbal cues, which is usually related to clients. When you speak in something really technical, you are 20 minutes, and then they start to do like this. Get back, then they start here. Then they see their eyes rolling like this, which means they're reading a message or they're texting. Then, if you're continuing whatever you're doing, you're screwed. Because you lost them already, they are not there. Solution, easy, ask them a question. During the call, what did you think about it? They will wake up, they will get back to you. It's one of the clues, Or do you think the solution is appropriate? Interact. So that's how you usually would be able to just wake them up. The ask. Biggest thing that most people do. My name is Piotr, and I 26, and I look. If you can't present yourself, what you do, especially in the first 20 seconds with anyone, I'm not speaking about client, even in an interview, someone outside, you lose them. That first 20 seconds of interaction is cruel, especially if it's about you. I mean, who would know you better than you? I mean, like, who do you expect that will know you better than yourself? Master it. Highlight the main pinpoint. My name is this. No need about my age, and I used to live here, especially in interviews, because I used to do a lot of interviews for people, and then I spend like the first 5 minutes, they tell me things that I don't really care, Instead, I just want to pinpoint, like you do it, like you list it to me. My name is this, I have this diploma, I have this experience, that's it. And speak low. A lot of people, that's another biggest mistake, because a lot of people speak low during the calls just to, hide an information, or they think if they speak low, no one will hear it and no one will point it out, like it's gonna go smoothly. But no, that's a mistake. And I can speak about this forever, but let's skip. So today we're gonna speak about the main 3 pillars: listening, adaptation, deliverance. FYI, this is not ChatGPT, so you will not find it. You will not find it any place. So this is like we can share the presentations later on, so you can have it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them.
How you understand how you should position yourself and the client when you have some not very satisfied client with your decision?
So that's a technical question. Let's explain it to me simply. So usually, if a client repeats it, so you mean if a client is not satisfied?
You're going to provide some decision from your end, and the client not satisfied with your decision and try to agree what is your position.
Always highlight the customer pain. Meaning, I understand that this was not the right solution. I know that you have a tight budget. I feel you, I understand, I see it. And they start to, yes, and then you give them like that crossbar. But guess what? I mean, there are some round of correction missing somewhere. We need an additional funding, we need. But you already spent like 10 minutes, but that's information of we need. It should be short, brief, and like at the end. But you can't start with it and then trying to fix it from both ends. So highlight that you understand them, you speak their language, you know what they want, and then slip it at the end. So I did this before, so it worked. Yeah. Coming back, so about listening, I mentioned like full attention. Look, if you're in a meetings, like with all of us guys, yeah, don't be speaking in teams with other colleagues. Yeah, don't be reading emails, scrolling through them at the same time. Don't be even taking notes if you know that the notes will really let you off what the clients or what this person is saying. Do a pause. Click record on your phone. Listen to this person, what they have to say. Ask right question. You can come back to, I mean, look right now with this technical integration, you can put a video or like an audio, yeah, in an AI system. They give you the full script, pinpoint, next to action called. In what, 10 minutes, 5 minutes? So why do you really need to keep stuck, tuck, tuck, tuck? And right now, I think like Alex mentions, even in teams, they have this AI-driven thing. So you usually just have full attention, and that's it. Then clarifying questions. Guys, feel free to communicate. What do you mean by this? What is this? Ask, but they should not be stupid questions. By stupid questions, meaning if a client is listing a lot of pinpoints, and then you give them a question that is totally irrelevant, then you lost them. Then it starts to be bad. So you should be clarifying in a nicer way. Yeah. Validation. Validation is important. So as here I mentioned, so I'm not even reading what's written, but acknowledge and validate the speaker's thoughts. Ta, 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 ta. So yeah, validation. It's put it simple. You basically just approving what he's saying. You are right. You know, look, those are fake words sometimes. They don't need to be really truthful from your side, but this is how you usually win another person's trust. You are right, I understand, I agree, this, but not a pure silence, you know? Non-verbal cues, we spoke about them. A feedback loop, so reflecting back and confirming, you always repeat. At the end of the call, look, usually when you're speaking either with a client specifically, give an agenda. Even if it's not written, give it like vocally. Today, so let's just say you're gonna be doing a demo, make it in 3 or 4 parts. I'm gonna show you the interface, I'm gonna show you the business purpose of it, and then we're gonna speak about this design, and that's it. 3, 4 main pinpoints, yeah? At the end, the feedback loop is important because if they say, look, I'm interested in this type of integration, and I'm interested in this feature, and I'm interested in that. You already noted down 3 pinpoints, yeah? Repeat it. So to be aligned. So right now we need this, we need this, we need this, and try to have a call like a next action. Yeah? Can we book a call or whatever it is? But try to confirm it because your understanding of what the client said is different between what he's trying to communicate, you know? And have empathy. So empathy here mean be fake a little bit. As simple as it is, be fake. I mean, I'm not saying that it's like you should be honest 100% or always straight. No, be fake. And I'm speaking fake in a nicer way, meaning that you are more understanding the pain because you don't have that budget. You know, if he's losing 20 grand, let's just say, on something, it's not from your money. If he's really tight and need to sell it to the main global team, you don't have to sell it, but you can show that you understand. You feel his pain, you are with him, you are his bestie, like call you after working hours, tell me about it. But this is how you build the trust, and this is how you move with any person. But most people doesn't do this. Those who does, then they become like a great people, let's just say. And then adaptation. So adaptation, this is what I was talking about in terms of when you don't change your style with the other person. So technical jargons, it's mean when someone is speaking really some language, even if it's English, but it's not English, it's tech. It's difficult to understand. I mean, between technical people and technical people, it's easy. It's like an alien speaking to another alien. It's easy, they understand each other. But if someone is stepping in from marketing or something, they just don't really get it because they don't understand the value. They don't understand what they're trying to, like the end results of it. They don't understand the whole thing. So if you want to use a technical language, I'm not saying you don't use it, but explain it. Put it in examples. Use examples during your talk, you know? Try to make it as easy for the other person to understand. You have here tone modulation. So here what I mean is adjust your tone to the client. I'm not saying that's technical. No, don't do that. When you want to make a pinpoint, you scream. No, tone it's, look, if you are a person who is usually, when he's speaking low, he's speaking tired, that's energy. As much as you're tired, that's energy. The other person can feel it. So if you have a 30 minutes call with someone external, I mean, internally, it doesn't really matter that much because a lot of people have the same energy, so it's okay. No one judge you. But if you're going to be speaking internally, try to adjust it. Try to speak loud, try to speak clear, try to speak strong, because sometimes you can be saying the dumbest of the things, but if you say it in a nicer way and in a nicer intention, it sounds smart. And that's true. Even if it's bad, but that's the truth. Yeah. Visual aids. Little Figma design from here, a little Canva design from here. Just make it look pretty, You don't need to make it like all technical. Give some other people, because some people really, when you, let's just say, they wanna create an e-detailer or anything. Like we had this case before. You can explain them about how great we are and we make it short and no. But simple as it is, it happened. We just took their content, we just make it in a pretty Figma design with little interaction, and it's resonate with them. They say, this is exactly what I was looking for. But if you tell him that, look, you have a boring PDF, but then you will have interaction between slides, and you will have this menu here, and you will have this, they see it, but they don't really feel it. But when they see their own design there, which is like easy to do, especially if it's not coded, it's just there, it's resonate with them usually. Customized explanation, it's more or less covered. Cultural sensitivity, very important. Depends on the culture, depends how the other person is communicating. Let's be honest, someone from Eastern Europe will not communicate close as someone from the Middle East, like someone from China, like someone from the other person. Meaning, don't say that English is my third language, it's mean that I'm limited. Don't say that, for example, I am from this culture, so I'm super technical, but I'm not a very good communicator. No, these you just put them to yourself. By cultural sensitivity, meaning it's if someone is speaking from another culture with his hand, thanks to our neighbors at this hour, yeah, bless them. Yeah, so if someone's speaking with his hand from another culture, let's just say from the Middle East, it can be easy. But if someone from Eastern Europe, they would be more direct. So trying to adjust, depending on the other person that you're talking to, depending on how you react. And feedback in cooperation. So when you recognize your error, when you recognize what you do wrong, what you do right, try to learn from it. So this is exactly the same thing when I was speaking about like being an introvert versus an extrovert. So here we have deliverance. So by deliverance, I mean how you talk. It's easy. Clear structure. Don't overcomplicate it. Like I said before, have an agenda, pinpoints. I'm going to start with this, I'm going to end with this, and make it simple. Okay? You have a constant messaging. So in each call, you're trying to get one message across. You're either trying to get client's approval for the project, you're trying to get his approval on the estimation being done, you're trying to clarify a specific scope or move on. That's, if it's your target, that's going to be always the priority for you. So all the rest can wait. That's your goal. So once you define it, you're going to build on it. What we have here, engaging presentation, we covered it up. Yeah, we talked about active listening, response, anticipate client question. The very important skills to develop. By this, use it not only with clients, even in interviews. Meaning, I use it all the time and it's always work. So if I'm speaking, and I say that, actually, we're thinking about great system enhancement. When I say system enhancement, I already know what they are. It's not I don't know. I know them. It can be like a new channel. It can be an AI feature. It can be this. But I do it on purpose as a bait for the client to ask, what is this integration? And I do this all the time with a lot of samples. Why? Because a lot of people tend to catch you. I got them. He doesn't know this. No, but I did it on purpose in the first place. I give you a bait. So it's also with interviews. It's also with work in general. Sometimes you build your structure with anticipating question. You mean you already know what he's going to ask, and you make it vague. And then always they bite. Always they bite. But these things, they are not on the flow. They are not going to come up to you during the call. They need to be prepared. 3 pinpoints. Make sure that you will address them. Go ahead. And then they should be fine. And then you have call to action clarity. Meaning, once again, just clarify, make everything is defined, well structured, well clear for you before you move ahead. Last thing, extra tips. You have 3 things. You have prepping. To be honest, I used to prep before to the letter. Right now, I don't, but I know the pinpoint. But before, if I'm doing even like an interview with the clients or an interview for work, I just prep to the letter what I'm going to say and how I'm going to end, and even which questions I'm going to ask at the end. Why? Because when stress hits in, your brain only remember those really prepped questions. you can shut off and they just come up naturally because you repeated them, you repeated them, you repeated them. So it's always good to prep. Nothing bad about prepping, just don't over prep, pinpoint. Don't prep the explanation that you're gonna have, plain just the ideas. And that's really important. You have space taking. Space taking is something I've been doing so far. Space taking, it's mean when you're in a call or even in an interview or with some other person, the whole conversation starts to be about you, meaning not in a bad way or arrogant way. It's just you make everyone listen around you. How? You might be speaking in a louder tone of voice. You might be making everyone else engage. You might be asking someone that you see from the beginning not interested a question just to catch his attention. You might be confirming things with other people. You might be speaking loud, confident. All of this is part of space taking. Why? Because at the end of the call, this is what is being remembered at the end. Like the person who was speaking loud, clear, and a lot during the call. Not in a bad way, but in a positive way. And style creation. Have your own style. Everyone is different. If you are super good technically and you need to look, first of all, like I mentioned, I repeat it so many times, don't say I'm technical, I'm not communicative. Because for me, I saw them, there is nothing more scary than a technical guy who's a great communicator and a little bit strategic. Because when you have them in a call, they just like you can't deal with them because they know all the aspects, especially as a client. But if it's as a salesperson or is it someone from the internal team, they just have all the skills. I mean, that's why we have even this, let's just say, different team composition. You have a delivery manager deep, just or with the project managers making the task. Why? Because he's not a great communicator, but a CSM is a better communicator than a delivery manager. That's why we put a CSM very outside and as a bridge. And then you have an account executive sometimes who is a super communicator and very good at making people open. So if someone can master these three pillars, then you can work in every single environment. And specifically, if you're a technical, you already know the deep end, because an account executive or a CSM would not be as good as a delivery manager or someone from the deep tech. So as simple as it is. So create your own style, focus on what you're good at, focus on what you're bad at, improve it, scale it, make it like look pretty, and then repeat it with your friends, repeat it in a bar, repeat it with a family, record yourself as you see fit, but just do it. And then you will find your own style. You might be this person who is very communicative with his hand movement. You might be this person who is direct but gets results. You might be this, you might be that, but you should create it. At the end, there is nothing. There is just a beautiful case study. So a case study is not about me. To be honest, I was going to put a study, but it's going to sound boring. Me with the client, we talking, and here is what's the learning. A case study, I want to make it about you. If you have any, let's just say, difficulties in your work or with the clients, and you think that maybe you need some tips how to improve, how to tackle, feel free to ask.